I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I didn't think it was actually possible. I did not think ever. I did not think I was going to have to talk about the Rangers losing to the Buffalo Sabres. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I am speechless from this fucking game. You not only lost them, you got fucking cooked. They burnt through our fucking defense like Maisto fucking cheese. They absolutely shut down our offense, torching fucking Igor. What the fuck? What the absolute fuck? And you know what's sad? I said it last video. I sensed it. I sensed this loss coming because I told you guys what happened. I told you what happened with Philadelphia. I told you they barely made it out with 2 points, and then they got their asses spanked by the Buffalo Sabres. Well, what a surprise. Final score may not show it, but we got spanked. We got spanked. I do not want to hear anyone defend anyone. I don't want to hear anyone defend any of the players. I don't want to hear anyone defend David Quinn. I don't want to hear any excuses for this game. You lost to a team that has now 8 wins this season, and you barely even put up a fight. It's simple. I could end the video right here. You lost to the Buffalo Sabres. What else am I supposed to say? Oh, Kravtsov almost got his first goal. Cool. Congratulations. He didn't do it. Oh, hang on. We would have won the game if we had a couple extra seconds for that Trouba goal that he ended up scoring. Oh, but it didn't happen. So cool. Let me think. Oh, we would have won if, we didn't just suck in the last 5 minutes of fucking games. I can't stand watching this team in the last 5 minutes, knowing every single game that they are going to just absolutely choke. It's inevitable. I'm sitting there on the couch with my dad, and I'm like, Dad, a 3-2 game's coming. I know the story. I know how it's going to go. They're going to choke this in the last 5 minutes. I'm sitting there when there's 5 minutes exactly left, or whatever the whistle was, with it like 4:40 left or whatever. I'm sitting there praying. I'm sitting there just praying and wishing so much, just hoping that the Rangers would not choke it in the last 5 minutes. And then a minute later, not even, Victor Olofsson scores a goal. And they lose to the Buffalo Sabres. I forgot about overtime. Oh, how could I forget? No, let's get back to the first period, actually. I don't want to go in order with this game. Let's just go back. I'm going to go a little all over the place with this video. Before we get into it, though, I need to let you guys know about Fade Grips, because at least that is something good and something that we could all be happy about. Fade Grips is such a great product. You could get yourself some grips for your console controller like these right here on my controller. You could get yourself cases, hoodies, shirts, snapbacks, whatever you want. Use code Python to save yourself 20% off. Link is in the description down below. Casey Middlestad fucking scored a goal on you tonight. Okay. I don't care how much hate I get for this. I'm gonna rip on Adam Fox when he makes a mistake. What the hell are you doing behind 200 feet from your own fucking end? Leads to an odd man rush the other way, and oh, whoop-de-doo, Casey Middlestad has a field day. And I sensed it. I see the odd man rush, and I know what's coming with this team. I know it. Every time. Every time an odd man rush, you could just tally it down as a goal. Every time this team lets up an odd man rush, it's inevitable. At least 90% of the time, because sure, there was a time tonight, I think, where there was an odd man rush, and the Rangers ended up actually stopping it. Well, whoop-de-doo, you still lost the game. The shootout nobody showed up in. Overtime is really what ticked me off the most. Overtime pissed me off so much. Also, how do you come out of the gate so strong and just get away from the game plan so easily? This happens every game. How does this happen? I'm so sick of it. I'm truly just sick of it. Let's get to overtime now. No, actually, let's go a little bit back. We'll get to overtime after I get to the final minutes. David Quinn, what are you doing? What? You're contradicting yourself. You want this team in the playoffs, but you say, okay, this is what David Quinn says to the entire, he said it publicly to the entire fan base. I didn't even hear his post game. I don't want to hear his bullshit from tonight. But you know what you know what he said? You know what he said? He said after the game, or after last game, publicly said to the entire fan base, to the entire hockey world, to everyone that heard the post game, he said, we're trying to make the playoffs, we're trying to win, so we're going to play our top 6 guys. And then the next game, you throw your bottom 6 out in the final 3 minutes. Final 5. What? What are you doing? Do you want to make the playoffs or not, Quinn? Because me personally, I'm fine if you're going to throw the kids out there to lose, but you can't say literally the night from the game before, you're not going to play your bottom 6 as much because you're trying to win hockey games and make the playoffs. You cannot say those words, pretty much those exact words, and then the next game contradict yourself. But this is everyone's coach here. This is still somehow the man that's in town, the man that people want still coaching this hockey squad. I don't know how you could possibly even... How could you even respect that? How could you respect the guy who just clearly, in plain sight, just visibly contradicted himself right in front of your eyes? Right in front of your eyes. He contradicted himself. And I don't want to hear playoffs anymore after tonight. Are you kidding? You kidding? You lost to the Buffalo Sabres. You lost to the Buffalo Sabres. Listen, I'm not going to discredit Linus Ullmark for having a great game and robbing Kravtsov of that goal. But it's the Buffalo Sabres, dude. It's the Buffalo Sabres. You got to win. You got to win this game. I don't care how, you have to win this game. You slaughtered them that first period. Most of the first, except for when you let up that goal. But you slaughtered them all game. And then, all right, you could slaughter them all game, but every once in a while, this is what happened. This is the story of the Rangers. So they'll slaughter the team. They'll slaughter their opponent for the first 3 periods, right? Or all 3 periods, they'll slaughter their opponent, right? But there will be a little pocket of like a minute or two in the second period where they allow the other team to score, they let up some goals, and then the final 5 minutes come. The final 5 minutes where you are praying, you're wishing, you're just hoping to God that the Rangers will not choke the game. And then every single time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you pray. It doesn't matter how much you're hoping, you're wishing. No matter what, it's inevitable that they choke the game. It's inevitable. All season long with this shit. And you did it to the Buffalo Sabres 2 games in a row. And you don't come out with 2 points even tonight. I was pissed off last game. And then you pull the same crap off again, and you don't even get 2 points this time. Do not buy into the postseason bullshit anymore. If anyone's buying into the crap that David Quinn is spewing anymore, I don't know what to tell you. You're in your own island. You're in your own world. No one should be buying this crap anymore. They're not a playoff team. They aren't. Just stop pretending like this team could do something. And if they make the playoffs, again, you're not making it past Washington. You're not making it past the Islanders. You're not making it past the Penguins. Whoever you're playing You're not beating. Open your eyes. And what playoff experience for the young guys when they're not going to get ice time? And they had great shifts tonight. And there were so many times still where David Quinn, good old DQ, our coach, would just skip over, giving... there was one time I pointed out on Twitter, he skipped Kravtsov's shift. And then threw Kaka with the Lafreniere and Hedel line. And Kravtsov already getting the David Quinn treatment when he literally did nothing wrong tonight, and I thought he had a great game. It's sad. I could honestly argue he was the best forward tonight. He only played 10 minutes. I could argue he was the best forward tonight. We caught a break with... You know what, also? We caught a break with that offsides goal in the second period with Panarin. That goal was offsides. Come on. We all know it. We saw it. Own up. Come on. Let's be real here, Ranger fans. That was offsides. And we got lucky with it. Lieber Hayek and Brendan Smith suck, by the way. Have I mentioned that? Oh, it's the second game in a row that I'm mentioning that? Good. Well, they suck. They suck. Get whatever you can for Brendan Smith at the deadline, for the love of God. Just bring Tarmo up. Put Anthony Boteto back in the lineup, for crying out loud. I'm tired of seeing these two. I'm tired of it. There's a reason they're playing less than 15 minutes a game. It's because they get torched out there every time and they suck. They suck. And they still got thrown out there in the final 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure, by the way. Just a fun little fact there. God. Overtime. David Quinn. You have Ryan Strome on a point streak. And you're throwing Colin Blackwell out there as your fucking center with Lafreniere. Are you serious? Come on. How many times have I said it in this video? Come on. Where's the logic behind, like, what is he thinking when he's tapping the guys on the shoulder to put him out on the ice? What is he thinking when he sees you have Zibanejad, Panarin, Fox? All right, solid. I like that. What was the other pairing? The other combo we saw tonight. We saw a little bit of Trouba. I don't even remember, but you have Ryan Strome, who, yeah, it was Hedel and who? I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, Hedel and Buchnevich. That pairing was getting torched out there also, by the way, with Miller on defense. That was getting torched and abused. But so you have Ryan Strome on your bench, right? On a point streak, like I mentioned. You tap Lafreniere, fine. You tap whoever you want on defense there. Lindgren, I believe it was. All right, fine. Colin Blackwell. Come on, this isn't when he first came up where you're going to get that Blackwell magic with Lafreniere. It wasn't going to happen again. Did they think, oh, Blackwell and Lafreniere did it the first, that other time earlier in the season with Buffalo, they could do it again? No, stop. It didn't, it's not going to work. And they got torched. They got abused. They got strangled. Thank God we didn't see that other pair, though, that we saw last game. I already forgot that pair, but that one, oh my God, that was so brutal. That other one, I completely forgot what it was. But Kakko and Kravtsov kind of deserve some OT time, in my opinion, but obviously didn't get it. Because what's the point of rebuilding when you could try to make the playoffs, right, Quinn? I still don't get the logic. So I put up a Twitter poll. Let's go to that poll, actually. I put up, what would fans rather? Would you guys rather the Rangers make the playoffs this year or go for future runs? So 20% of you said you'd rather make the playoffs. So 20% of you are clearly just supporting David Quinn and would just rather the Rangers make the playoffs this year when we could literally be doing, you know, why we went to a rebuild in the first place and go on future runs. I'll never understand the logic with some, like, I'll never understand the logic. So I'm trying to get this straight with some of these some people here. So some of you guys are telling me you'd rather the Rangers, you're telling me you'd rather make the playoffs when they sent out a letter going through a rebuild. If we were all about the playoffs, we wouldn't have went through a rebuild in the first place. Come on. I'm so just... Holy shit. You lost more face-offs to the Buffalo Sabres even tonight when they don't have Jack Eichel, by the way. You didn't get outshot, but it sure seemed like it. It sure seemed like it. Especially in those last 5 minutes, because we know how that goes. They were undisciplined as fuck in the second period, which stopped the Rangers from getting any offensive time at all. You handed them this in the last 5 minutes, and in part of the second period when you stayed undisciplined. The trade deadline soon. The trade deadline soon. Is this a wake up call that hey do we have to make more moves perhaps than just Brendan Smith trade? What do you do here? Where do you go? You got a coach who clearly does not give a fuck about this rebuild, giving Colin Blackwell 18 minutes of ice time. 18. He had more ice time than Kakko, more than Strome, who, again, is on a point streak, more than Lafreniere, more than Gauthier, the same amount as Artemi Panarin. This is everyone's coach, though. This is the guy everyone wants behind the bench. And also, I want everyone to spare me the whole, oh, you're rooting for a guy that loses his job. Quinn will get a job somewhere else in the NHL. Just spare me that. Come on. He'll get an assistant coach job or something. He'll get another job. Spare me that entire bullshit. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I truly, in my wildest dreams, I didn't think I'd actually have to be talking about a loss to the Buffalo Sabres, especially after they went on the losing streak they did. I did not think that it was physically possible to lose to the Sabres. I basically marked up the 2 points for free because I got overly confident and I was just so ready to go. Of course, the Islanders didn't help us because, of course, they went to overtime with the Flyers, so we get a point and it doesn't matter because we don't even pass the Flyers because the fucking Islanders and Flyers, of course, have to go to overtime. So fuck you, Islanders. Fuck you, Flyers. Sorry, that's just the type of mood I'm in. Although, I shouldn't be saying that because you have to be able to beat teams like the Buffalo Sabres. Any sort of humiliation... I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Any sort of just like clowning and memeing that we get, no matter how mean we get for this, we deserve it. We deserve it because this is also what I said on Twitter to Ranger fans. I warned you, Ranger fans, about clowning the Philadelphia Flyers and about celebrating the Flyers losing to the Buffalo Sabres because I knew this would happen. I knew everyone would have all of these other fans that said, oh, we'd beat Buffalo. Oh, look at Philly. Fucking Philly sucks. Haha. I told you guys to be careful with your words. I said it because now you're eating shit. Now you're eating absolute shit right now. Let's get to Twitter now. I can't even believe this still. I really can't believe it. By the way, yeah, just to address the standings, if anyone thinks we're making the playoffs, again, keep living in your fucking fantasies. Keep living in whatever world you're living in. Boston has 3 games in hand on us. We are now, we're still like 3 or 4 points behind them. Yeah, 4 points behind them. Yeah, season's over. But thank you for trying. Thank you for trying to say that the season's saved. We have 19 games left also, so yeah. But some fans still think we can make the playoffs, huh? NYR10 says this isn't a question, which, by the way, those are fine if you're going to send those in. I really need to start including that in these reaction tweets, I have to start including you. Give your thoughts, because I do want to hear your thoughts also, and I'll let you know what I think about your thoughts, if that makes any sense what I just said. Think about your thoughts. I'll let you know if I agree with your thoughts. That's more what I meant to say, sorry. And also, might as well get this time to plug the Twitter. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description to be a part of this, because you get a free shout out, you get to interact with me. And also, while you're clicking the link in the description, leave a like. If you already are following me on Twitter, leave a like either way, because it does help out the channel here. And please be sure to subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. Helps out a ton. We're trying to grow here. NYR10 though says, this isn't a question, but I don't know why they would put Kakko out there. I didn't have a problem with Kakko in the shootout, personally, because really, what were the alternatives? Like, what were the alternatives? Ryan Strome, I guess, would have been a fine alternative. Kreider, I don't really like in the shootout. Then it's just all young guys that we know David Quinn wouldn't trust either way. Then you go to the defense. You want Jacob Trouba or Fox out there. Nah, it's just like, with what you have, none of these names are appealing to me. If anything, the Rangers should have threw Kakko out there first, and then they should have went to Panarin and then Zibanejad last, or vice versa with the last two. But I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with Kakko out there, because, again, what were the alternatives, really? What were the alternatives? By the way, I just want to say, Blackwell took Lafreniere's spot on the power play, on the other power play unit. Good stuff, Quinn. NYR10 says, question, do you think they can make the playoffs? No shot. You, not only do you, even if you got the 2 points against Buffalo, you still choked this game bad enough and played bad enough tonight to show that you're not worthy of making the playoffs. You're gonna get spanked. We really want to watch this team in the playoffs. You're going to get cooked. You're going to get fried. Come on. Enough with the nonsense of that. All right. New York Style 24. I fucking hate this team. Geez. That's the first time I think you've dropped an F-bomb on me, so that I could tell. I love the passion. I love the anger with the fans. I really need to set up a hotline or a phone line, whatever you want to call it, where you guys could call in and give your raw emotion, give your thoughts and everything, and I could hear it. I'd love to hear that. Let me know. Please comment, actually, if you're here. Just comment if you'd be interested in me doing that, because I'd love to do that. I think that'd be really fun to do, and I'll work on it if you guys are actually interested in it and would actually end up calling in. I'm not going to set up if no one's going to call in. If everyone's just going to keep using Twitter for it, I won't do it. But comment if you would be interested in me doing that, because I think that would be pretty fun to do. But New York Style 24 says, I fucking hate this team. All they cause is pain. Well, now that playoffs are officially done, what draft pick you think we will get? Well, we don't know. And yeah, the playoffs are officially done. It's been done, in my opinion, for a while. It was done after you lost those 2 games against, what was it, Philly and Washington, right? Whatever those 2 games were. I said it was done then. I said it was done last game, even against Buffalo. It's been done. But draft-wise, where are you at right now? Where are we at draft-wise? We are right now in a position where we would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We'd be literally the top team to miss the playoffs as of right now, unless there's a team below us in the standings that is above the playoff line that I'm missing here. It doesn't appear that way. So you'd be the top team. So realistically, you're picking in that 15, you're picking within the 10 to 15 range. This is the last year where when you're in this range, you could end up moving up to number 1 or 2 because of the draft lottery changes, because why wouldn't they change it, of course? But realistically, I think that you're not going to win another lottery. I think you'll be picking in that range, and it's a fine position because this draft, it's not like any of the, there's this definitive number one guy where it's like you must grab this guy. As much as I'd love for them to win the lottery and get their hands on a Matty Beniers or a Kent Johnson, any centers like that, I'd love for them to get their hands on that. But realistically, you could still gather some talent in the middle of the draft. We've seen it lately. You saw Cole Caulfield go 15th. You saw Trevor Zegras go a little late in the draft, right? You're seeing some of these guys starting to make an impact that went in the middle of the first round of these recent drafts. So it's not like you're not going to get a good player at any of those positions. You're still going to get a great guy at 15. So I'm not too worried about the draft position. If we win the lottery, that's great because then you're getting a center that could definitely jump into the lineup next year, which we desperately need. And then that honestly eliminates the whole getting Jack Eichel thing because now you have a guy that could hopefully slot in as your number 2 center for the future. He probably won't be your number 2 right when he jumps into the lineup, but then Strom's contract ends. You could have Hedl there and then rotate him and Beniers, or maybe Beniers does make an impact if you end up in that position where you could draft him. Maybe he does end up shutting or proving anyone wrong and being the next big guy and being a top center in the league. It's just a shame because if it was Shane Wright, like that would really be intriguing me. That draft's really intriguing me because if the Rangers finish in the bottom 10 next year, you can't be upset if they get Shane Wright. Then that's just something else. Shane Wright, Lafreniere, Kakko. That's a line. That's a line and a half for the future. New York Style 24 says, and fold the season. I take back saying we should make playoffs. Just play the kids more and fire Quinn. I'm officially done. The Rangers cause me emotional pain. This is what I respect you. I respect you owning up that you were wrong about the Rangers having some sliver of hope of playoffs. But you know what? I respect you having optimism. But to me, I point out all of the flaws. I've been pointing it out all along. I've been sensing what's wrong with this team the entire season. And I know they're frauds. I know they were frauds when they were winning these games and everything. I knew it. And then there was that one game where I was like hyping them up, and it was showing a little more promise with them when they were winning 9-0, 8-3. When they were winning those games, it was showing a little bit of promise with this team. But honestly, to me, it never really seemed like this team was going to make the playoffs. I predicted at the start of the season, but once you started choking those games against Pittsburgh, I just sensed what type of season it was going to be. I sensed that it was going to be another train wreck of a season. And yeah, to your point about playing the rookies, that's been long overdue. We've been screaming that for a while. We've been saying all year they need to do that. And hopefully they'll finally do that. And hopefully Quinn is on the hot seat. I don't know how after a loss like this he isn't. And I don't know how he's on the hot seat when he literally contradicted himself, like I mentioned, and when he's not sticking. Like, I don't understand how he has his job when it seems like when Jeff Gordon laid out the blueprint, he laid it out as this 5-year plan, 5 to 7 year plan of, hey, we're going to take a step back. All right. It's going to take 5 to 7 years before we are a serious threat. We want to probably make the playoffs within 5 years, 5 to 6 years, but we want to be serious threats within 7 to 8 years. Just give us time. But David Quinn is all on jumping on this, hey, we got to win right now train, when we sent out a letter that we were rebuilding. It just, the disconnect seems there. But then now it also seems like Jeff Gordon wants the Rangers to win as well and is believers in the team winning. It just, I don't understand. I don't have a clear vision with this team anymore. There's no blueprint whatsoever. I can't map out what the plan is with this team going forward. I truly can't when you have a coach developing guys so poorly. I truly just don't know what's going to happen. If Quinn's behind the bench next year, that's when we get serious concerns about what's going on with the organization from the very top, from the John Davidson top. He did not hire Quinn. that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for it being a half hour, because this, oh boy, was this one to remember. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Other than that, it's been Python. I'm out. Peace.